Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Thursday, the 2nd of July. With McShane, we're reading through Gospel of Matthew, today chapter 12. And in verse 22, we're told of Jesus, then they brought him a demon-possessed man who was blind and mute. And Jesus healed him so that he could both talk and see. All the people were astonished and said, "Could this be the son of David?" But when the Pharisees heard this, they said, "It is only by Beelzebul, the prince of demons, that this fellow drives out demons." The Pharisees were quite clear. Jesus was clearly a bad person. The rest of the people saw what he did, saw how he lived, the signs he did, and said they could see God's hand on this. They could see this. God was doing something. And they were wondering, in light of what they had been taught in the Old Testament, was this what God was doing? Was this God's moment? Was Jesus God's man? And the Pharisees say, he's the devil's man. And it's not surprising, because earlier in the chapter, Jesus went to a synagogue, and there's a lame man, and they watched him closely. So he said, which of you, if your sheep falls into a pit, won't pull it out on the Sabbath day? Sensible thing to do. And this man's worth more than a sheep, and he's been, so we should, if you free your sheep, you should free people. And he healed him. And we're told then, but the Pharisees went out and plotted how they might kill Jesus. They were so certain that he didn't fit their picture that they needed to get rid of him. So when everybody else was saying he's God's man, of course they had to say he's not. He must be the devil's man. And it just made me think that there's none so blind as those that will not see. Everyone else could see, they could not. They would not see. They didn't want to see. And what was quite obvious, they found an excuse and a way around it and some other way of explaining it away. And the sad thing is that nothing has changed in 2,000 years. There are still people who, no matter what the evidence, will not believe. And sometimes we try hard, and we tried all sorts of different ways of explaining and witnessing and trying to get them to see. But if they don't want to see, like the Pharisees, they're not going to see. They will work around it, make some other excuse. And the most that we can do is we can pray for them, because only God can soften their heart and bring about the necessary change. So don't be discouraged when people want to dismiss you. They dismiss Jesus, and it continues apace today. But we remain faithful, and we thank God that our eyes are open, that we can see, and we can see the wonders that he gives to us in his word day by day. Be blessed.